touched me. You want to kill me? You fool! You want to kill me?
I didn't touch you.
You want to kill me?
I didn't touch
you.
you.
You touched me.
No, I'm not trying to kill you.
Why'd you touch him, Benny? I saw you.
I didn't touch him.
Yes, you did. I saw you kind of like reaching out with your hand. You were trying to...
Listen, I extended my hand to shake hands with him, okay? I extended my hand, and then I was like, oh, no, it's a new normal, okay? So I went to give the elbow, and our elbows didn't even, they just got this, just...
Why did you do that, you big fat fool?
Hey!
Why did you want to see me dead?
I didn't touch you. I'm not trying to kill you. Don, I didn't touch you. I didn't touch you. No, I'm not trying to. Oh my, I didn't touch you.
You want to see me dead, don't you?
You know what? Now I'm starting to hate you. I'm starting to hate you. If you don't shut up, I'm gonna touch you. Yes, believe that.
Stupid fool! You lied.
I didn't touch him. I didn't touch you.
Oh, he hates me.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GubsRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichelle always says, we on TV! And yes, indeed, we are, folks. We have another action-packed great show for you today. Special guests is Joey Kola, Long Island legend, comedy legend, is here doing Hot Topics. We also have Brad Williams, the hilarious Brad Williams. He could be seen on Netflix's Degenerates. He's also on Showtime's Fun Size and a whole bunch more. And then we have a great movie review, a special movie review, if you will, with the great Charles Goonan. Will be joining us later in the show as well. But without further ado, let me introduce my good buddy, Benny Rizzuti. Benny, how you doing, pal?
Hey, Don, great to see you, man.
Hey.
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. As you can see, I'm hanging out in the beach in my own mind.
It's very tranquil, very peaceful looking atmosphere you got there.
Well, it's a Memorial Day weekend, okay, for us. It used to be for me. I used to work on the beach for close to 10 years, so this brings back some memories. I miss the beach.
You worked on Fire Island for a very long time as a bartender. You swear you're not homosexual, but you loved it there. Tell me a little bit about the Fire Island.
The whole thing, Fire Island, right away. It's funny. Anywhere in the country, you mention Fire Island, and everybody's like, whoa, yeah. The Pines and Cherry Grove are the two gay areas.
Right.
Pines is more of the very expensive, the people with money. And then Cherry Grove is the wild place. So there's an old saying, if you drop your wallet in Cherry Grove, kick it over to Ocean Beach.
So now in this Memorial Day weekend, plans are limited. Beaches are limited, capacity, limited beaches are open.
We are not opening our beaches in the near term. It is not safe. It is not the right thing to do in the epicenter of this crisis.
What are your plans for Memorial Day weekend? Do you have any big plans? What are you going to do?
My plans are just enjoying. I hope we have nice weather, and I just enjoy, what I have. Enjoy my backyard. And, we have two fire pits, one with wood, one with gas.
Nice.
I have a lot of stuff to burn, if you know what I'm talking about.
You're quarantining the right way, my friend.
I'm quarantining. I'm fine. I'm fine without people, and I could do this. I could Zoom with people if I need people.
There you go.
And Saturday nights are occupied. My Saturday nights, I watch this show.
Right. Yeah. It's we're hoping that we keep our Saturday night audience despite the beautiful weather and the weekends and all these other things. It's gonna, but we're still here, folks. 7 p.m.
We're here.
Saturdays.
Tune in every Saturday. We're here. Live broadcast every Saturday.
My name is Silvio Dante. My friend Don Sil has got a great show. What's it called?
Put up, stand up, and shut up. No, put up, shut up, and stand up. I keep getting that wrong.
Put up, what is it again?
Put up, shut up, and stand up.
I don't know the name of it, but everybody else does.
Put up, shut up, or stand up. Right? Put up, shut up, stand up.
Put up, stand up, and shut up.
We'll start over.
Put up, stand up, shut up.
Put up, shut up, and stand up. You gotta watch Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up with Don Sills. We just had a fucking blast.
That's what I thought. Put up, shut up, stand up. That's what I was gonna say.
My dog, although I hate cleaning up his shit, he's the happiest guy in the world. Every time we come home, it's like the loyalty and the happiness. Oh my God, they're back again! They're home! They're home! This is the 5th time today they made it home! And they got food! Where'd they get the food from? Where did they get it? I don't understand! Wagging his whole body. Could you imagine being that happy? Even if the IRS made a mistake and gave me an extra $5 grand, I don't know if I could wag my whole body every time. Oh my God!
All right, everybody, we're back, and our first guest is just a great guy, hilarious comedian, comedy legend, Long Island legend. Here he is, folks, the great, the one and only Joey Kola. Joey, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, hey Don, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. I apologize for the hair. I look like a little like Jerry Garcia at this point, but what are you gonna do? My daughter cuts my hair, and even though she's my daughter and she's been here, she won't come within 6 feet. So,
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's the quarantine hair. You should have seen mine earlier today. I just got a haircut by my fiance. Just cut it. She did a better job than I thought she was gonna.
I think I'm gonna let mine grow long. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna let it go and see what happens. I'm 58 and I got hair, so
yeah, man.
might as well.
It's looking good. It's working for you, man. I like the hair like that.
Thanks, man.
So how's the quarantine been going these last 7-8 weeks now?
Yeah, I'm up to day 72, I think. 72 or 73. It's been going good. I mean, my wife and I have been getting a lot of stuff done around the house that we wanted to get done. Like, she painted the basement. I ripped the old carpet up down there. We got rid of that. We've been going through all our old papers, and I had tax returns back to 1998 that I made a big fire in my backyard in the fire pit, and I burnt it all. And doing a lot of yard work. I figured I'd get rid of the landscaper because I like to do the yard work. So I've been mowing and gardening and feeding birds, setting up my butterfly. I raise butterflies too. So
wow,
monarchs and black swallowtail. So
doesn't want to leave my hand, this guy.
Setting that stuff up, some vegetables I'm planting, and just getting a lot of stuff done. I also did two live from my living room, Joey Cola's Comedy Club.
Yes.
And that worked out good. I got over 25,000 views on the two of them. So
I got a little honey jack here. Salute! Salute! Happiness and health to all of us in the future. Health to everybody.
That was pretty good. And I did a PB&J with Joey K one day, and that was fun. And let's eat. I hope you guys all got a sandwich. Hope you made your sandwich. Yeah, I'm a big kid, Danny. Saying prayers for the people that are sick and the nurses and stuff. At the meantime, but at the same time, keeping my fingers crossed that this thing ends sooner than later and we could all get back to work.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like you've definitely been making the most of your time. I mean, you've done it's insane the amount of things you just said that you did. That's impressive, man.
Yeah, yesterday I redid this little rock wall that I have, and just digging up. The best exercise is working with the ground. Nothing resists you like dirt. So I've been planting some seeds and digging some things up and moving some stuff around. And I got a lot of pots in my backyard. I don't have a big property. I got a small cape in Nassau County and a small property, but I try to use every inch of it,
Right.
So everywhere the property is, I got a tree or a plant, and I tried experimenting with letting some things grow, like trees and stuff, but couldn't do it. So I had to pull a couple things out today, and digging is just, it knocks you out.
Yeah, and I could see you got some. Looks like you got some color.
Yeah, I got. It was the last 2 days. Luckily, it's been sunny out, so big red nose.
Well, did you hear they're doing live comedy already in like Oklahoma and some of the Midwestern states? They're starting to open up clubs
I
again.
haven't heard that. No, I got a couple. I've had a lot of calls for gigs, Zoom gigs, which I didn't do because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's like a carpenter without any wood. It just doesn't work. I've been called to do some outdoor things. There's a couple of prospects going with some friends of mine that might be doing comedy at a drive-in upstate. So, I mean, we'll see what happens if things clear up a little bit. But if things clear up and the clubs start opening, I don't know if I'm going to want to do a drive-in anyway.
Right.
So I'm just sitting tight, waiting to collect my unemployment insurance, which they're a month and a half behind on. So I haven't seen dime one because I've just been doing nothing, you know.
Right.
Because normally I warm up the Rachel Ray show. We stopped 22 shows short of the end of season 14.
Every guest that comes here that's worked in comedy knows Joey Kola. Joey Kola, for all of America, we are so lucky to have him. He's a very gifted comedian. He's our warm-up for our show, our little cooking show here. And honestly, this man makes everybody smile. But all year long, Joey, he's a giver.
So, and then Kevin James's show stopped production, the sitcom, The Crew, that he's going to have on Netflix. Yeah. And then I was supposed to do 17 shows in Scotland, Ireland, and England with The Sopranos, comedy and conversation with The Sopranos. It's Michael Imperioli, Steve Sciarippa, and Vinny Pastore, and I host it.
Wow.
So we had 17 shows in May in Europe, and then we had shows in Canada and here. So they all got canceled. So I lost about 65 shows.
Wow, that's.
I went from doing all that and my own shows, my own Joey Kola shows. So I went from doing all of that to zero, you know. So what are you going to do?
Well, let's just hope everything starts. They get a vaccine first of all, but also things starting to open up slowly, and maybe people start getting back into the restaurants and clubs. It'd be a whole new world, but you know.
Well, luckily I'm okay for a little while, but I worry about the people that aren't. So I've been donating some money here and there. I mean, I'm not a rich guy by any stretch. That's why I want to collect the unemployment insurance. But where you can give, you try to give. That's all, you know. It's a fine balance. Take what you need, but also give what you can.
Yes, indeed. Well, you're definitely a stand-up guy, Joey, and
thanks, man.
Yeah, we all appreciate you. But I do want to go over some of these hot topics. Are you ready for some hot topics?
Sure, yeah, like Wendy Williams, hot topics. Here we go.
All right, so we got the we talk about things opening back up. We have the UFC, NASCAR, and horse racing are now set to return and have returned without an audience or crowds. What's your take on those sports coming back and having no crowds?
Well, I played Little League with no crowds, so you know, I don't mind. I mean, with a few parents were in the stands, but yeah, I want to see the sport come back. You know, so if they could bring it back and the players won't get sick, then I'm all for it coming back. I mean, my brother's been golfing, you know, here on Long Island, so he puts the mask on and they let them out 15 minutes apart and they don't get near each other and stuff.
Right.
So the way my brother hits the ball, he's not going to get near anybody anyway. He spends most of the time in the woods or the middle of the sand trap. So, but yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Sports opening up if they allow it. If the scientists deem it safe, you know.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And going to the beach. Some of the beaches are open. People are going to go to the beach and with masks on. What's your take on that?
Again, you know, just as long as they social distance, stay distance away from each other. I mean, you know, the beach is an open place. It's salt water, which kills stuff. But I don't know if it's going to work, man. I don't know. I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not going. I want to go fishing. I'm a surf caster. I'd love to go to the beach and cast off the beach for fluke and stripers and stuff, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a little while longer. I mean, you know, sometimes the difference between waiting a week or two and not could be life and death. And I know people that have died. You know, at first, when this first started happening, it was like, oh, my friend's cousin's grandmother died. And then slowly that circle started coming in to where it got to where it was like, oh my God, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, you know, your husband died of it. So now it's getting real, you know, so.
It's definitely real, definitely scary. I'm kind of with you on that as far as I'm not in a rush to start getting into crowds.
Right.
You know, but there is the other part of me that kind of wants normalcy, but who knows if that's ever going to happen if we don't get a vaccine.
Yeah, who knows?
So continuing to work from home after the quarantine, a lot of companies are starting to realize, hey, we could all work from home all the time. I know that doesn't play into entertainment, but what's your thoughts on people just working from home all the time?
It depends on the business. It depends on the business. If somebody can manufacture something at a factory or whatever and then sell it online by like Amazon or whatever, if that works for them and those people want to stay at home, you know, let them do it. If they don't want to stay home or they don't want their employees to stay home, it's whatever they're comfortable with. You know, my definition of success is being able to do what you want with your time. So in other words, if you got $30 in the bank or you're homeless and you got nothing and you want to be that way, then you're a success.
Right.
Because that's the life you want to live. You know, if you want to live in menially and just, you know, eat rice every night or whatever. But if you want to live an extravagant life and you want a big house and cars and a yacht, then you have to work hard to get that success. But, you know, then it's a balance of do I work, how much time, you know, you got to have, do I work hard or do I, you know, with my family and work, you want to balance that out, you know? So I think I have that. And I got a good sense of that in my head, what my number is, like where I need to get to be able to spend time at home.
Right. Handshakes or no handshakes in the future? What do you think?
Oh, in the future, there's going to be handshakes, hugging, kissing, the whole thing. I'm Italian, so you know, men kiss each other. So that'll have to happen. It'll have to happen. We're going to have to figure out a way to knock this thing out. The way, like so many other viruses were knocked out. Somebody will come up with something sooner or later. You know, somebody will come up with something. In this day and age, we got to come up with something. But then who knows what else is going to come along, you know, 50 years from now or whatever. So, you know, I lived my life like this before, Don. You know, it was always like, I always lived my life like a bullet, a bus, a heart attack, cancer. Something's coming at everybody. Whether you're 9 or 90, we're all here for a half hour. So you got to get your head and your heart straight. What do you do? Is it religion? Is it a spiritual thing? Do you talk to the universe? Do you talk to God? Do you believe the Torah? You know, Old Testament? Do you believe New Testament that God sent his son to revamp the Ten Commandments and only make them 2? Have God and then do unto each other. So I read my Psalms and my Proverbs all the time. I keep myself grounded. I believe that God sent his son here and the cross, what happened on that cross that he gave for our sins. So I give it all over to that. Now, that said, I also want to have some fun while I'm here. I want to use whatever God gave me, and I want to use what this earth has to offer us. You know,
Right.
whether it's, you know, my family or, you know, my job, my having fun, making people laugh, making some money, going fishing every once in a while. I mean, I keep it simple. I'm a simple guy. You know what I mean? If you keep your wants simple, then you'll never be disappointed. So that's what I do. That's what I do, at least, you know? And once you got that together, then no matter what comes and when, you're ready to go. You know, my mom died in a car crash coming back from seeing me in Atlantic City when I was 25, back in 1986.
Wow, very sorry
And
to
when
hear
she
that.
died, thanks. When she died, I realized that everything is a line. You know what I mean? It's a line. It's a line. And the life, you know, life existence is a line. And you and me, we're at one point in the middle of that line. And all the people on this side are the souls that were here and gone. And the people on this side are the souls that haven't been here yet. So that one point in the middle, you can count us for a finite amount. And just like that, 20,000 more just came in. Just like that, 20,000 more just left. So we're a minority being in that one dot in the middle of that line. This is the majority and this is the majority. So, given that, whether you're here for 9 years or 90 years, you got to prepare your brain and your heart, and you got to give over. Now, it's hard to do. It's hard to keep your faith going every day. Every day, minute to minute, hour by hour, week to week, because things of this world come in and cloud it up. And your wants come in and cloud it up, and just being human clouds it up. But if you could basically stay online and pray almost every day, if you could, I think you'll be okay. I mean, people ask me, they say, what do you want to do with your career? I said, my career? I've done everything I want to do. I mean, if other things happen, that's great. If it doesn't, it's great. I'm going to keep doing what I do because I enjoy making people laugh, whether it's, on a sitcom or working at Rachel Ray, warming up people or doing stand-up in a club. I'm going to keep doing what I do. But in the meantime, I've been so blessed that I've gotten more than I ever could have imagined. The only material things I ever wanted was a boat, a fireplace, and a fireplace, and a pool in the backyard. And I got a nice pool in the backyard. I got rid of the boat. And I got my fireplace for the winter. I got my pool for the summer. If I can make enough money to pay some bills, pay my bills off, and that's all I'm worried about.
There you go.
It's simple. It's very simple.
Very. It's your philosophy and it's very deep and it's motivating and inspirational. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Joey. And also you talked about the boat. I know the story with Rosie O'Donnell gave you the boat, if that's the same boat you're talking about. But we have a common friend. I don't know if you remember Barry Steinman. He was the audio guy.
Yeah, he's in North Carolina now. I love Barry.
Yeah, I worked with him for years in North Carolina at the Hurricanes.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, what a great guy.
Yeah, and we bonded talking about you.
Oh, really?
Because he told me he worked there, and I go, so Joey Kola, he's the warm-up over there. He's like, oh, yeah, man, Joey's great, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I worked with him at Rosie. We just had a reunion, a Zoom reunion, 47 people. It was in the Post. The Post wrote an article about it.
Cool.
Page 6 today. So, but yeah, I used to work with Barry all the time, and I'll tell you a quick funny story. Barry, Trish Riley, and Ron Reeves were the three. They were Trish and Barry were the A2s, and Ron Reeves ran the board at the Rosie O'Donnell show. And they were audio, and Yope DeCourt was also with them also. And Yope traveled with many big bands, the Stones and many bands, English bands. Anyway, they did the audio at 8G, which is where Seth Meyers is now, which is where Rosie was. So the first couple weeks I came on as a warm-up guy, I didn't know etiquette. I had no idea what etiquette was. I was a comedian. I was there to make you laugh. Rosie's the host. She's my friend. She's got my back. I don't have to worry about these other people. I'm not part of a whole team. This is when I got the mic, it's my thing or whatever, right? So I'm making the audience laugh, and I'm treating it like a comedy club. The mic goes out. One of the batteries went dead. So I make a joke about the audio team. I don't know what I said. I said something like, oh, they're drinking again, or the audio people are drunk or whatever. I don't know what I said. Right. But I said something. And I learned very, very quickly at a very young age that you never bite the hand that feeds you. Never, ever, ever. Because now, every day, my mic went out. And I couldn't find my mic when it was showtime. And they gave me the cold shoulder, and it was very bad.
Wow.
So I couldn't apologize. I was on my knees. I was apologizing up and down to good people, too. I mean, I took a shot at good people that know what they're doing. I mean, these people all traveled with big bands and work in television their whole lives.
Right.
So I took a stupid, mean shot, and I learned. They taught me a lesson. So I said, what can I do to make up for it? And each of them made me get them a case of beer. It was Barry, it was Trish, it was Yope, and it was Ron Reeves. And not only beer, it wasn't Budweiser. They made me get them some kind of eclectic, IPA flown in from Belgium. I had to call a special beer distributor to have him order stuff that I couldn't take the train in. I had to drive it in my car and put it on a hand truck and wheel this stuff into 30 Rock to make up for what I did to them.
Wow.
And you know what? I deserved it, and it was a lesson learned. And the one thing I learned is once you're part of a team warming up a TV show, or whether you're on a movie set or wherever you are, you become part of that team, and you never, ever, ever put down anybody you work with. And that's basically across the board, you know?
Right.
Especially get a laugh at their expense. That's what I did, and I was wrong, and I shouldn't have did it, and I learned not to ever do it again.
Hey, you know, nothing says sorry like craft beers, though. So you did,
That's right, yeah.
you did the right thing.
Ask Barry; he'll tell you that story.
I'm good. I'm sending Barry this whole clip. It's gonna be great.
I love him. Yeah, he's great.
That's the hot topics for this one with Joey Kola.
Thanks, man.
Joey,
I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're in the middle of like your day here, doing a whole bunch of stuff.
I still got some stuff I got to do. I'm not done with. Yeah. So.
Real quick, where can people find you and see you?
JoeyKola.com. Find me on Facebook. Friend my fan page, my Facebook fan page, and Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all of it. You know.
Awesome. Well,
All
thanks
right?
again, Joey. You're the best. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everybody.
All right, so we're back. And Benny, so as you know, we just got out of a meeting earlier today about a possible PUSUSU movie. It's pretty cool.
I'm excited. A movie. They're going to make a movie about our game show.
Yeah,
PUSUSU.
man. And we got Joey Petroni is kind of leading it. He's producing the movie. He's getting all kinds of people to play us. And I recorded our Zoom meeting. So I'm just going to share that with you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
All right, here it is.
Hey, man, listen, I'm glad I got you guys together, okay? This is awesome, all right? I got big news. I was landscaping out in the Hamptons, okay? And I ran into this guy, and I thought he was full of crap, you know? And I was talking to him, and he called me up on Wednesday, and it's legit, okay? He was talking about doing a put-up, shut-up, and stand-up movie. I told him all about you guys, told him all about Governor's Radio. I told him about everything.
Wow.
This guy's a big Hollywood dude, okay? He knows everyone. He's got a bunch of connections. Now, what he told me was half these actors aren't working right now. They're sitting at home just like we are. They're doing nothing, okay? Hollywood's not filming. Nothing's in production, nothing. So he can get anybody to play us, okay? Like in other words, Don, if you could get anybody to play you at all, who would you pick as an actor?
Wow, anybody?
Anybody.
I would like somebody like, you know, Jack Black or Zach Galifianakis or one of those like guys that, you know, kind of look a little bit like I'm, of course, better looking than them, but they're, you know, they're somewhat and they're funny. So those would be perfect.
Yeah, don't feel stupid, man. It's Benny, who anybody
Right.
would play Benny Rizzuti.
Okay, I would need somebody really good, a great actor to play me. It would be difficult. So I would say Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Because he's almost as handsome. So I go with Brad Pitt or The Rock or Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa would be good too because we both have a similar physique. So he might be a little bit older than me, but yeah, I think or Mark Wahlberg. If you can get Mark Wahlberg, I mean, what is he doing?
Okay.
He's selling hamburgers in Boston right now.
Okay.
You can get him.
Jeff, if you could get anybody to play you as the character on Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, who would you pick as any famous actor?
Well, I would have no choice but the incomparable Rich Rader, if he has time in his busy schedule.
Rich Rader.
But as far as for a lookalike, I would have to say Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cast. What a cast.
This movie's going to be awesome.
Great.
It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
And you know what?
That would
Something's happened. You know, you got to go with it. You got to roll with it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's great.
This is crazy.
I'll be there in 2 seconds. All right. I'm on a Zoom call right now. I told you before. I'm doing a Zoom quick. I'll be doing 2 minutes. I'm done.
What?
The one I told you about the movie.
What movie?
Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second.
What are you talking about?
I'll put you on mute. I'm sorry.
Why now? Dinner.
This is the time everybody was available. We were supposed to do it last night. We're going to reschedule. Listen. This is the Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up show that we do. This show that I'm on Saturday nights.
Don, that guy?
Don.
Yeah. Give me a break.
Don,
That show?
yes, Don Sill, Benny Rizzuti. I told you before, I'm Jeff Bossy. I told you all about it.
Benny?
Benny Rizzuti.
Still doing that kind of stuff?
Benny's.
Give me a break.
What are you talking about? He's a great guy.
All these years, and it's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Why do you put people down? Make you happy?
Because it's like you should be out with your family right now having dinner with us.
Right. Well, I'll be out in 2 seconds.
And who else is in this?
These guys, Jeff Bossy, he's an awesome guy, man.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy that I'm giving the blow up Christmas stuff to.
That weird. It does
He's
look
not
like
weird.
Christmas
Okay.
decorations. Okay, whatever. What are we supposed? We're
Just
waiting
give
for
me
you.
2 minutes. I promise. I'll be out in 2 minutes. Sorry, guys, man. My wife loves the show, Don. By the way, she supports you. She loves all you guys.
Well, thanks.
So, yeah, dinner's ready, and I got to run. But listen, I'm gonna get back to you. And I know you think this is far-fetched and it's a big BS thing, but the guy called me Wednesday. I looked him up. I looked up his name. He's legit. Okay, so I think it's gonna happen. Positive energy, boys. Positive energy, right?
Positive energy.
And smile, man.
Yeah. Thanks again, Joey. This is, like I said, it's a really good opportunity. Just thanks, man.
No problem.
Yeah, sounds good.
Listen, I got to go eat, all right?
All right. Appreciate it.
All right,
Take
guys.
care, man.
This is awesome news, man. You guys don't look like you're happy.
No.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
You're not gonna believe it until you'll see. Okay.
I believe it now. I do.
You'll see.
Tell
Mark my words, man.
Tell your wife I said hi.
I will. She loves you guys, man. Jeff, she can't. She's so happy you're taking the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
All right, guys. Well, I don't think he knew he was not muted.
That was weird.
You old timers, Frank and Charlie, love to go to baseball games, go all the time. And one day Charlie says, "Hey Frank, you think there's baseball in heaven?" Frank says, Charlie, it's a good question. Whichever one of us goes first, we'll try to find a way to come back, let the other guy know. So he says, all right, cool. And a couple of weeks go by, and Frank is the first one. He passes away. Charlie's a little upset, but he goes to a game one day, and he hears Frank's voice. Charlie, it's me, Frank. And Charlie's like, Frank, really? Get out of here. Frank, is there baseball in heaven? And Frank says, there is baseball in heaven, but you're not going to like it. He says, why not? He says, you're pitching Friday.
Yes, here we are, folks. It is now time for PUSUSU Pornhub edition. No,
nice and messy.
We need a catchy name for our segment here. Any suggestions?
Yes, it should be called "Somebody Get a Mop."
Somebody get a mop with Charles Goonan. Here we go, folks.
There should be like a big squishy noise when that happens.
Done. Consider it done. Like it's already happened. And
right.
Yeah.
All right.
So how you been, man? The great Goonan. How you doing, buddy?
All right, I thought we were going to open up already, and now we're not opened up. We're still locked down. It was originally let's make sure not too many people get sick. Now it's let's make sure there's a vaccine. Let's make sure there's no diseases ever again. Let's make sure no one ever gets a rash. Let's make sure nobody ever gets the sniffles. Let's make sure nobody ever gets offended at getting the sniffles or saying the sniffles or saying the Chinese sniffles or whatever. So we'll see what's going on,
We're all in various levels of quarantine, and it's hard. It's hard economically, it's hard everywhere, but it's going to be hard here, it's going to be hard here.
Thank God for the internet, though, because the internet is getting me through life.
We're riding on the internet, cyberspace, set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
Thank God for the internet because it brings a lot of goodness to your heart while you're sitting in quarantine.
I'm not religious, but many a night all by myself with just me and the internet in the dark, I say, oh God, oh God, oh God.
You have to remember the internet is not a regulated environment, so the quality and accuracy of various informational offerings can differ quite a bit.
So you, like everybody with a beating heart and testosterone in their veins, have been taking to other means in their private time to get by and get through the quarantine time. And
that's the reason why I'm doing it. Yes. Yeah. Times are very tough. I've got to whack off.
And it gets us by. It's like a time machine. You go, you start. Next thing you know, 2-3 hours went by, and
I flux my capacitor every night.
It worked! I finally invented something that works!
Nice, the flux.
88 miles per hour.
So now you are somewhat of an expert.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, I know this like the back of my hand, and the back of my hand is crusty.
So you've been dabbling and doodling and dibbling and all of those things on the internet.
Dabbling and doodling. Yes. When you say it, it sounds so dirty.
Of all the servers that they have now, there's a whole list of them. Brazzers, Pornhub, and I'm sure there's more. What's your go-to? Do you have one? Is your favorite server?
As a matter of fact, I do. So. There's one that has probably the dirtiest name, and it probably has the most sophisticated source of material, and it's called X Hamster. You know X Hamster?
Oh, I've heard of X Hamster, yes.
So X Hamster, it almost looks like a more formal site when you go on it too. It's all white like a hospital, or maybe somebody made it white, but and it has probably the largest database, but it has the dirtiest name, and the insignia is like a little hamster, like the gopher from Caddyshack. He's like, me.
Maybe I'll make that the logo for this piece too. I'll have the hamster head.
Oh, man.
But
oh God, this feels so good.
Thank you. Everybody, I do impressions. If Disney's listening, I do voices.
That was one of the chipmunks masturbating to X Hamster.
Yeah, I can do Mickey Mouse too. Pluto, not up the ass. See that? Pluto, not up the ass.
So X Hamster's your go-to. You get on there, and you discover all kinds of new pornography that's out there that exists.
New ways to self-love. Yes. Oh yeah.
Because who would have known? These pornographers get more and more creative, and it's not just in the titles, like Saving Ryan's Private, so things like that. No, now it's the premise. Last time we had your segment, we talked about shoplifter pornography, and now there's some new ones. Is there some other new ones that you've uncovered?
Well, there's so many great genres. One of the other genres that is so great is there's no reason for these genres. They don't necessarily make sense in pornography, but you could put anything into pornography, But they have like if you go to a pawn shop, if you're pawning stuff, if you're getting rid of stuff, you're gonna buy stuff or sell stuff, they have porn.
Porn.
And it's like, why would this happen? Like, this lady wants to, look, this is my boyfriend's TV. He's in prison. He's not coming back. Well, I don't know if I could buy it, but if you suck it, I can. All right, let's go in the back room. I'll suck it. And this guy runs the place. It's like, it's another Wednesday for him. Another Wednesday, another suck.
Well, hello there, pretty lady.
Hi.
How we doing today?
Not so good. I need to sell this purse.
You need to sell this purse.
Yeah.
Is it your purse?
Yes, it is.
All right. And what were you looking to get out of it?
And it's great. I want to open a pawn shop. I never wanted to open a pawn shop before until now. I want to get knickknacks and paddywhacks, and I want to give the dog a bone.
And then you get all those things. I never knew that the pawn industry was so lucrative.
Like, you know, if somebody doesn't
That's the good news.
The good news is I will give you $500, but not for the bag.
For what?
Well, I'd like to see what you got going on underneath that work uniform of yours.
Because I guess you get it, they're coming in very desperate. They need the money very badly.
I don't know if they do or they don't. If you look at these premises, like this lady's like, I want to sell my car. There's one where a black lady's trying to sell her car, and she's like, I want to sell my car, and the guy meets her out in the lot already. Oh yeah? And then before you know it, she's sitting on his face, and it's like, what kind of deal was that? And I mean, like, how do you know if the gear shift works? How do you know if it's 4-wheel drive? Does it matter anymore? You know, you're gonna ruin those seats, and they're not even in the car. Everything takes place in the back room. And the back room is where the real deal goes down.
He's not a good businessman, but man, he gets laid a lot.
Oh my God! And he's very nonchalant. He usually has a southern accent. He's very nonchalant. He's like, well, you know, I can tell you, I can kick this car from you, Misty, but I'm gonna have to at least play with my balls. And then they don't seem like, unlike the other, like the shoplifter porn, where the lady's like, oh no, please don't call the cops. Oh fine, I'll suck it. Oh no, please. This one is more like, the lady's a little more nonchalant, like, oh wait a minute, you mean you'll take the car if I suck the? All right, whatever you say.
It's a bargain price, you know. They have to get, they want to get rid of that car, man.
Everything must go.
Wow, I mean, I never would have thought to do that. Like if I was, you know, before these movies existed, I never would have thought that if I owned a pawn shop, that I could trade in not only money, but I could also get sex from really hot chicks who want to sell their wedding rings or cars.
Now there's even one where like a lady's mad at her husband and she wants to sell like either the wedding ring or the wedding dress. So the guy's like, well, we could go into the back room. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like Citizen Kane. To hell with Citizen Kane. This is the good stuff.
So now that you've been binge watching porn instead of Netflix and binge watching
I've been binge watching them now. You have me just watching porn. Like it's Ozark. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait till season 5. Oh, wow.
So are you starting to like think that this is reality? Like that if a woman wanted to sell you her car, are you gonna ask her to suck it?
Well, that's the problem with porn, is that you have to, I think the late great Richard Jenny once said in his routine, he says what they should really name every porn movie is Things That Will Never Happen to You, starring people you will never meet.
You kept working and getting better at the internet, and 6 months later you can't even let anybody in your house anymore. Because it's not your house. The windows are blacked out, newspapers in the driveway. It's the castle of Dr. Jerkenstein.
Now this is a little off. Well, it's not off topic, but it's another thing that I've noticed, and I'm being dead ass honest. There are now quarantine porn. Have you seen them?
No, I have not seen quarantine porn yet.
If you look up quarantine and even COVID porn, it's there. It's like the brother-in-law had to quarantine with the sister-in-law, and before you know it, he's like, look, we only have one bed, and I've got to masturbate. Do you mind if I masturbate here? And she's like, oh, fine, I don't care. Let me just watch. Oh, do you want me to maybe help you? It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I never thought, and now I'm like so jealous that I'm not quarantining with certain people.
I thought when you first said quarantine porn, I thought it was going to be two people on Zoom. You know, the one lady's in one box masturbating, the other guy's in the other box, and they're just like looking at each other. But no, this makes more sense.
That's the future. That's the future. Imagine you blow your load just as the connection goes, no, not yet. Oh, mother.
That would be awful. But yeah, that's the future. So that there's actually quarantine porn. People can find that on X-Hamster. You got porn.
Find that on X-Hamster and other sites too. Not that I spend so much time
binge watching.
No, binge watching. You have me binge watching this. Season 8. Oh, it really gets good in season 8. Oh.
Season 8 of the shoplifter porn.
Oh, we really learn a lot about the characters. Oh.
The same girl's back again. She didn't learn her lesson. She's a real kleptomaniac, man.
She didn't learn her lesson. She's clearly the villain. She's clearly the
villain. So these are what you are definitely.
Another classy show, Don.
Yeah, no, this is always my favorite segment. So you'll see this episode we ebb and flow in all different directions.
All those years of catechism, I can't believe it.
As always, we always appreciate the porn reviews from Goonan.
I'm glad that I could add a little class, a little seriousness to your little fuddy-duddy show.
Here's my joke. What did 50 Cent do when he got hungry? 58. Get it? 58.
All right, we're back. And Benny, do you know what time it is?
Hey, Don, what time is it?
It is time for Professor Fedora's Top 5. Professor Fedora is back to normal.
The normal Fedora is back?
Yeah.
He was never normal, but the Fedora that we knew and loved.
Exactly. He's never really truly normal, but he's back doing a top 5. And this is the top 5 things to get back to. Here, so check it out.
Hello. Oh, that's great to be back again. What a wild ride. Well, speaking about getting back, we're going to get back to my top 5. And top 5 of things to get back to finally. What's number 5? Going ahead and going out to restaurants finally and sitting down like a normal person.
An inventor in Israel has come up with a coronavirus mask. Here it is. It lets you eat without ever taking it off. You just squeeze a lever. It opens and closes a slot in the mask.
What's number 4? Going out to malls, because who doesn't want to have a little anti-ants? I know I do.
Florida, residents are covering their faces to stop the spread of the coronavirus.
What's number 3? Finally going up to your friends and family and shaking hands and giving out hugs. I haven't seen everybody in such a long time. Well, considering everything that's been going on, I haven't seen anybody really in a long time. What's number 2? Going back to the gym, because God knows, I've gained some weight over the time.
Wanna feel my body, such a feel my body.
What's number 1? Finally getting back over to the Gov studio to finally be involved and do it live with the PUSUSU.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, or Stand Up right here on govsradio.com.
It's a great time to get back and try to get everything back together. Thank you.
Hey everyone, it's comedian Wendy Liebman, and is that broccoli in my teeth? No, it can't be. I don't eat broccoli. I'm here to tell you to make sure you watch the show Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. It's on every Saturday night at 7, and you can watch it in 3 places. It's on Gov's Radio, Facebook Live, and Boxcast. Every Saturday night at 7. What else do you have to do?
Your mama is so ugly, when she look out of the window, she got arrested for mourning. Your mama.
Okay. All right, don't talk about my mom again, okay?
Let me tell you something. Your mama, she's so stupid, she thinks that Manuel Leyva is the name of the president of Mexico. Your mama is so dumb, she thinks that Kidney Stones is a Rolling Stone tribute band.
Goots, I'm serious. You're starting to cross the line. Don't talk about my mother again, all right?
Your mama is so fat that when she holds ass, she got to take 3 trips.
Goots, are you serious? Okay, Gagoots. You win. You can talk about my mom anytime you want, man.
That's right, I win. That's right. That's so nice.
How?
That's so nice.
That was so awesome. I love that.
That was great. That was great, man. That really was.
Thanks, Benny. And I want to thank everyone who was in that. There was a lot of great people involved in the making of that fun little video, the Stuntman Challenge we did there. That's Joey Petroni, Neil Rubenstein, Rich Walker, Danielle Asher, Charles Goonan, Tony Walker, Nigel Fullerton, Jeff Bosey, Andrew Plajanos, Tim Saliani, Frank Fiella, Chris Williamson, Carla Okerson, Sally O'Neill, and the great Joey Kola. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of that. What a fun thing that was, man. Just to get everybody together in this situation where we're all can't be together, we are together. Even if we're punching each other in the face and kicking each other in the nuts.
People of planet Earth, it's me, Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway? How long have you had that? I'm here in command headquarters, and I have an order for you. Make sure you watch Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on govsradio.com, Facebook Live, and follow them on YouTube. They're on TV. This has been an order from the Maximum Command module here, located somewhere on Earth.
You can't help it. No one's ever seen a midget and yelled out, "Well, now my day has gone to hell." That has not happened. You see this, you're smiling, you're laughing, you know it's a good shot, you got a parade and some candy coming your way. You're happy as hell.
All right, everybody, we're back, and our next guest is a very funny guy who could be seen touring all over the country, and he's also could be seen now on Netflix's The Degenerates. Got to check that out. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Brad Williams. Brad, how you doing, man?
Doing wonderful. It's weird that right now when you say, like, he can be seen all over the country, there's a lot of people that'll be listening to this going, can you really? Because of what's going on, and that's completely understandable. But yeah, I've started to go back out there. I did Oklahoma City last weekend. I'll be in Utah this weekend. I have an Arizona date coming up. So yeah, there's some stuff where you can kind of pick and choose and go through the states and see which ones are open, ones aren't. And as long as the club is doing enough, in my opinion, to keep everybody safe, then okay, I'll go perform there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be one of the very few comedians right now that's since the quarantine has been out there performing. It's like you, I know Jeff Dye. Any others that have been breaking new ground?
I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to act like Jeff and I are the first ones or the canaries in the coal mine. But right now, I don't think there's other comics. I know plenty of comics that have dates that are booked in like early June to start going out. So yeah, but I know like the Addison Improv in Dallas is open, and they've been running a couple shows. But it was really interesting because I guess I was one of the first ones, because after my weekend in Oklahoma City, I got calls from a bunch of like headliner comics like, hey, what's it like out there? You know, how'd it go? What happened? So yeah, I got to talk to a few guys and girls that are big league headliners, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool. I guess I get to talk to this person now. It's fun.
Yeah, because in a lot of ways, you said canary in the coal mine. You kind of are, in a way, like even the big time headliners are kind of gauging you. Hey, how you feeling? You have a fever? You doing all right?
Yeah. Oh no. And trust me, I was kind of like that. I was like, well, here we go. You know, and they wanted to know if I was feeling okay and if I felt safe and how the crowds were. And you know, so far so good. We are taking precautions, and it's a strange thing because I completely understand the people that say there should be no live shows right now. Nothing should be happening. We should all be locked down. I completely understand that, and I completely understand the people that say I'm not going to any shows. Cool. Do whatever you need to do to feel safe. I'm not one of these guys that's like, it should go back exactly like NBA playoffs start tomorrow. Like right. I'm not that dude. But if these clubs are taking precautions, which is at 1/3 capacity, sitting tables 6 feet apart from each other, taking everyone's temperature as they come in the room. I'm not doing a meet and greet afterward because I don't want to have people then line up and then, certainly not shake the hand of everyone who just saw the show. So yeah, there's precautions taking place. Obviously, the safest thing in the world to do would be for us to all stay home. That would be the safest thing. But there are certainly people out there that would like to earn some money. There's some people out there with bills to pay. And when you're talking about the waitresses and the wait staff and the sound guys and things like that work at a comedy club, they don't have the luxury of staying home for 2 months, for 3 months. And some of these people I know work week to week as is. So a lot of it's for them, but I'm just trying to bring smiles to people's faces and do what I always do and make some jokes, and hopefully people like it.
Yeah, they say laughter is the best medicine. I think people need comedians. How was the crowd? Like, were they coming out? Were there people, or was it kind of a small crowd, or how was it? Like,
yeah. Well, first of all, I think the whole phrase "laughter is the best medicine" during a pandemic. No, it's not. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to say hydroxychloroquine is the best medicine.
Even though Trump's taking it?
Yeah, I'm going to say the best medicine is probably the one that hasn't come out yet, which is the vaccine. Whenever we get to that, that would be the best medicine.
Right.
I would take that over a good knock-knock joke any day of the week. But so I'm not this guy that's like, oh no, I'm a hero. No, fuck no. I'm just an egomaniac who likes to hear the sound of strangers laughing. No, but the crowds were great. The crowds were fantastic. Like, it was at 1/3 capacity. And then they also don't seat people at tables with people that they don't know. So if normally, working at Governor's, if a party of two shows up, you sit them with another party of two and you say, hey, this is your table. Now you guys are friends for a night. That wasn't happening. So if you came by yourself, you had a table by yourself. You party two, you had a table by yourself, party two. But I think everyone was just so anxious to get back out there and so ready and so looking for something to help them forget about this thing that's been going on now for a few months, that it was all in a great mood, man. They were all completely ready. They were laughing. I even do some coronavirus jokes, and I was kind of worried because obviously there's some people who know people that have this, who lost loved ones, God forbid. So I wanted to be sensitive to that, but they laughed at the coronavirus jokes, man. I think it's just, we're all so tense right now, or it's also unknown. We all want to laugh, man. We all want to find those things that are funny, the moments of levity. So so far, man, the crowds have been absolutely fantastic, and I hope it continues safely.
Yeah, because not only are you kind of the test, like the canary, again, to use that analogy, but also these clubs are too. And for clubs like our club and Governor's here in Levittown, we're also trying to figure it out and probably be touching base with all these other owners and seeing how it worked out, the seating, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then it's up to the states. If your governor says that you can't have anyone, more than 50 people in a room, well, okay, I guess you can't do that. Or maybe do you do a show with 50 people in the room if that's the limit? I mean, it's kind of rough. There's right now is kind of a good time for comics like myself, like the sort of headliners but lower level headliners, because we can still work. Like if you're Gabriel Iglesias, you can't really work right now because you're used to doing theaters and stadiums, and then you can't. I don't know if you're going to do a stadium correctly. I don't know if you could social distance at a theater. Maybe you can. I don't know. But although I don't feel bad for Gabriel, he made like $25 million last year, so I don't have problems.
He's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he'll be okay. But yeah, so right now we're just kind of feeling it out, and I would love to believe that there's some sort of happy medium that we can find to where we're not opening everything back up completely, but we're not just staying at home and no one leaves their house and we do that. You know, there's some sort of happy medium, and I hope people can continue to, like, we're going back, but I saw the people in the show social distance. No one came up to me and like gave me a high five or licked my face. You know, and when I announced that I wasn't doing a meet and greet, no one was really bummed out. I mean, they were bummed, but they were just kind of like, yeah, we get it. We get why you're not doing that. So I applaud people for being very understanding of other people's wishes and beliefs.
Now, a lot of comedians that I've been interviewing throughout this said that when we get back, man, I might bring my own microphone and all this stuff. Are you using your own microphone, or how is that kind of protocol going?
I don't bring my own microphone, but I do. They have wipes. They have sanitary wipes. And like a stripper starting her set, I take that mic stand and I just go up and down and I go all over and I go all over the mic. And yeah, I do that because thankfully, I don't know, thankfully comedians in general typically have pretty decent immune systems because of how we live, because we travel and we're on planes every week and hotel and we speak into a microphone that Bobby Lee has rubbed on his balls for the last 20 minutes. And
sorry, my sack came off.
We're talking into that same mic. I got Bobby Lee ball juice all over me, man. And so most of us have pretty good immune systems because of that we've been slowly building up. But
Because of the Bobby Lee ball juice, yeah.
Yeah. That might be the cure to this whole thing.
It could be.
Start in Asia, and an Asian can end it. You know.
There you go.
Inject pure Bobby Lee ball juice in your veins. We're one step away from Trump saying that during a press conference. You know. And Bobby Lee, take some of his ball juice, put it in with the Clorox. It'll be great. Kills it. But yeah, it's, you know, but I am aware that we're dealing with a different animal. We're not dealing with the common cold. So don't think that I'm like, my immune system's good. I could fight off anything and then, get corona. So yeah, we're all just trying to be cautious. We're all trying to go back to some semblance of normal, but at the same time, you know, entertain people, do what we're supposed to do.
Now you're kind of like, being one of the first comedians to do this. Not to harp on this the whole interview, but you're kind of a pioneer of the new world here in comedy. You're like you're traveling now. You're hitting up. You're on tour and hitting these comedy clubs.
Yeah, I would say if you live in a city with a comedy club that's open, the comedy club is fine. Traveling, that's a whole. It depends on the flight, but man, I flew with a company that rhymes with Schmerican, and it was pretty much just middle seats were open, but you know there were people in your row, and everyone was wearing a mask. They didn't serve food or drink. When I got to my seat, I took out a little towelette. I wiped down the tray, the seat belt, the seat, the handles, the armrest. I wiped down everything, and then they tell you don't put anything in the seat back pocket. They tell you that, and then I also flew Southwest because I'm a very successful comedian. I'm a very rich man, and on those flights I actually had a whole row, so I felt kind of good. But the thing that was crazy is they say during the flight, like, social distance, got to practice social distance. And then as soon as the plane lands, gets in there, and that bing, and then that seatbelt sign goes off, everyone just stands up, gets right in the row, and starts taking their bags out and lining up, and you're like, all right, now you're all breathing on each other's necks. Good job, buddy. Like, fuck it, let's all die. So it's the traveling to me is the part that actually made me kind of uncomfortable. Thankfully, for my gigs in Utah, I'm driving. For my gigs in Arizona, I'm driving, and then I don't want to take any connecting flights.
I ask them, I'm like, guys, what sort of fun shit do you want to do? They say, we want to take you on a Black Hawk helicopter. I'm like, yes. I'm going on that. And I tell that to my friends. They're like, Brad, weren't you scared? No. You have to understand who I am, the life I've lived. I'm the guy that when I go to Six Flags, I can't ride half of their shit. And now the US government just said, you see that death machine? Do you want to hop on? Erection. I'm good.
Well, now we're going to shift gears and go into this segment called Comedy Questions.
Fire away, my friend.
All right. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of comedy? Your comedy Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore of comedy. See, here's the thing, is I feel like every comic has to say Carlin, Pryor, and Bruce, because without them, there's no stand-up as we know it. It's still Borscht Belt. It's still like Take My Wife, No Please Take Her. Like the three of them made comedy like an art form in terms of personal expression, anti-establishment. So yeah, you got to put them on. And then I would put Joan Rivers on mine. Just that brash, unapologetic female perspective, breaking down barriers, glass ceilings, funny as hell, funny, and one of the hardest workers ever, and literally funny till the day she died. So yeah, I put Carlin, Pryor, Bruce, Joan Rivers.
Awesome. Who is your biggest comedy influence?
Man, I mean, between Robin Williams and Christopher Titus's special, Norman Rockwell is Bleeding, is one of the greatest comedy specials of all time. I love that special.
Armageddon's coming. They've been talking about it since the beginning of time. Well, I say, bring it on. Because some of us need to go.
He's the guy that taught me, because I always thought I had a pretty weird childhood, obviously being a little person and everything that went along with that. He's the guy that taught me that you can have tension on stage. It can get real tension. Like it could get, oh my God. And then the release is so much bigger once you build up that tension. So yeah, Titus and Robin Williams for me.
Yeah! Oh, God. A cream Miss spinach. Yeah!
Do you remember the very first time you ever did stand-up? And tell us that story.
Yeah. I did stand-up. Well, to tell the story completely, you have to go back before I actually went on stage. So I went to a comedy show. I was in the audience, and this was Father's Day, 2004. Father's Day, 2004. I'm in the audience at the Bray Improv. There's a comedian on stage, and he starts making midget jokes. Half the audience is laughing. The half that's sitting by me is like, no, like, just like, don't laugh. Like, and then the comedian notices. He goes, what, is one of them here? And I just raised my creepy little hand in the air, like, what's up, dude? And he called me up on stage. He asked me some questions. I answered the questions honestly. I wasn't trying to be funny, but my answers got laughs. And that was it, man. That was when I decided I got to be a comic. I always thought about it. I always loved comedians. Never actually thought I could do it until I got laughs on the stage at the Improv. And yeah, the next week I went to the Laugh Factory open mic night just to watch, because I thought, well, let's see how good these guys are, because I don't know if I belong here. And then going to the Laugh Factory open mic night, certainly in those days, was like, all right, yeah, I think I could go on stage right now and be funnier than the two bums and the heroin addict that just went up on stage. Like, I'm good. So yeah, I wrote jokes. Next week, went on stage, and that was 16 years ago, and it dropped out of college. I had 1 year to go at USC, and dropped out of college and started touring, man, and haven't stopped.
Wow, man, that's pretty cool. You kind of like the way you got into it is like anointed from one comic to a new comic, and it just all kind of happened.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool the way it happened, and I'm glad it did. That's why I'm anxious to get back to work too, because I mean, some comics are like, oh, I was a teacher before, or I was an accountant or a lawyer or something. Me, it's like, no, I've only been a comedian. I worked at Disneyland and I've been a comedian. Those are my 2 jobs that I've had my entire life. And they're both shut down right now. So it's like I don't have any skills to go back up.
What's the best comedy advice you ever got?
The best comedy advice I ever got. I'm gonna have to explain it, but a comedian once said to me, just remember this one thing: nobody cares about you. Now, let me explain why that's the best comedy advice I ever got. Because comedians, we all get up in our heads all the time of like, oh my God, I did this bit wrong. I said this thing. The whole crowd thinks I suck. I walk up on stage and they hate me before I say anything. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Everyone in that audience is just going like, wow, we're at a show, somebody's talking. I could never do that. I could never do what that comic's doing. And if you bomb, they're not gonna remember it. They'll, or like everyone's like, no, well, I performed this joke last week, so I can't do it again this week. They'll all know. No, they won't. Do the joke again. It's fine. Nobody cares about you, and it's just like, don't be all up in your head. Don't think that you did one unfunny tweet and now you can never work again. Nobody cares. They just want you to be funny. They just want you to laugh. They just want to have a good time. So that was the best advice I got: is nobody cares about you.
What comedians are most like you? Do you see yourself in like their style or?
Well, here's the thing. I thought I was the first dwarf comic to have his name up on the Comedy Store and all that. I thought I was the first dwarf. Nope, not even close. Tanya Lee Davis has been doing this for years.
As you can tell from looking at me, yeah, I'm very down to earth.
And she's so funny, so good, so brash, doesn't give a fuck, and I love Tanya Lee Davis. So she's great, but so I guess she's like me in that we're both the little people perspective. I don't.
Are you and Tanya Lee like the only little people comics out there? And
no, there's a few others. There's Nick Novicki. He's solid. Danny Woodburn, who's Mickey from Seinfeld, he does stand up occasionally. And then when I was in Houston, Texas, talk about coming full circle. So remember I said the story of there's a comic on stage and I was in the audience, right?
Right.
So I'm at the Houston Improv. I'm doing a show and there's this dwarf in the audience and I'm cracking on him a bit, and then he starts firing stuff back at me, like during the show, but it's funny. It's not like go fuck yourself or whatever. It's funny. And I'm like, oh, what the? And I kind of stop and go, what do you do for a living? And there's a pause and he goes, I'm a comedian. And I go, what? And he's a comic. so now, granted, this is like 45 minutes into my set, so I'm about to close out. And I go, you know what? Let's see what you got. You got a sold out improv right now. Come up here. And I called him up on stage and he started doing jokes. And man, was he funny. Really funny. His name is Clinton Shorter. And I know you're like, oh, his last name's Shorter. Is he a dwarf? No, that's his real last name.
That's his real name, yeah.
His real last name is Clinton. His real last name is Shorter. His name is Clinton Shorter, Houston, Texas. Really funny. And that night, the Houston Improv saw him and started booking him after that because they saw him crush in front of a sold out audience. So it's kind of crazy how it came full circle like that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And that's awesome that
Yes.
you gave him an opportunity in there and all that too.
Oh, dude. Well, when you think about the opportunity I got, getting pulled up out of the crowd and walking up on stage and things like that, you got to pay it forward. It's so hard to break into this business and this industry. Everyone had help. Some people might say, "No, I did it all my own." No, you had a club owner that believed in you. You had a comic that took you out on the road. You had something. The ball had some help. So if I could be someone who helps out other comics and gets to that next level, then I would love to do that for people.
Has Netflix or anybody ever approach you? Have you guys ever thought to do a kind of a Kings of Comedy, like a Little People of Comedy type of thing? Has that ever come up, or you guys are against doing that?
No, trust me, I'm not against. If I can get on Netflix again, I would love to do that. So I'm not against it. If someone wants to do that, I'm in. Let's get Tanya Lee, let's get Nick, let's get Clinton Shorter, let's get myself, and then let's go. I'd be all for it. And I think what would happen is some people would watch for the novelty of it, and then minutes into our sets, they'd be like, "Oh, these people are funny. They're not funny because they're dwarves, or they're just funny. They're just funny people." So yeah,
and that was actually my next. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I was actually going to say that with you, I haven't seen the others, but I know that with you, it's it's not a novelty. And when you do talk about your life and being a little guy, it's hilarious. Yeah. And but you are a true comedian. You know what I mean? You just know a true comedian. It's in the blood, it's in the demeanor, it's in the fiber.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you carry that.
Thank you. And well, I'd say this, that some people are like, "Well, Brad tells dwarf jokes." Yeah, because I'm a dwarf. I'm not gonna go on stage and talk about my experiences being 6'2". That's not my experience.
Right.
So every joke I tell will have the perspective of a little person, because I don't have any other perspective. I wasn't 5'8" trying comedy, and it wasn't going well. So then I decided to be 4'4" at the hook. So yeah, I'm just trying to. I'll always write from the little person perspective, but my jokes will be beyond, I'm not gonna go on stage and for an hour I'm gonna go "I can take a bath in a thimble. That's weird." No, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, just there will be a variety of topics that I cover during the shows.
Yeah, man, you're awesome. And our last comedy question here is, what is the best part for you of being a stand-up comedian?
Oh man, just there's no better feeling than writing a new joke and having the new joke work. Something you just thought of, you're like, this is gonna be good. And you go on stage, try it out, and it works. Think about the excitement that you have in a new relationship. You start dating someone new. It's all hot and heavy for the first month or so. We get to do that all the time with our material. I have a relationship with my act, and when I get a new joke that works, ooh, this is my new toy, this is my new plaything, and I get to have fun with it. I can see where it's gonna go. Maybe it's gonna develop into a long 5-minute, 10-minute bit. Maybe it's just gonna be that one line, and that's all I'm gonna get out of it. But that's the most exciting thing. And just being able to my job is to make other people have a great night. That's my job. So if I do my job correctly, everyone walks out of that room going wow, we're happy now. It's a cool thing. It's not on the same level, not even close to the same level of a doctor or someone who saves a life, or or a lawyer that keeps someone out of jail when they were innocent. It's not even close to that. But people leave happy. I'd say it's on the same level of the guy that brings you your ice cream sundae at the end of the night. You leave happier at the end. You leave happier. So yeah, that's the best part about being a comic for me.
Awesome, man. Well, Brad, I appreciate you. How can people see you? What you got coming up? I know you're actually touring, one of the few. So people could tell us where people can find you and see you.
Yeah, man. Go to Brad Williams. My tour dates are there. I'm updating them constantly as things get canceled, as things get rescheduled, as things get rebooked, and other things pop up. Instagram at Brad Williams Comic, Twitter at Funny Brad, and also a great source of income for me, Cameo. I'm on Cameo, so if you want me to wish someone a happy birthday, or the best cameo I ever got to do was a girl hired me to tell her ex-girlfriend that her pussy was stanky, and that was fun. So I got to do that. So yeah, you can hire me on Cameo. Go to cameo.com/Brad Williams Comic, and then you can hire me to give a shout out to somebody. It'll be fun.
Or tell them that their pussy smells. You can do anything you
Yeah.
want. It's awesome.
Anything you want. I'll do it. I'm a whore for money.
Brad, thank you again for taking the time. You're awesome, my friend, and we'll be looking out for you. Hopefully, Governors opens up soon, and we see you come here on the East Coast.
I would love to do that. I've been to Governors before. It's a great club. It's an old-timey feel comedy club, and it's just really smart audiences, and I loved it when I was there, so I certainly hope I can come back.
Awesome. You rock, man. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Hi there, this is comedian Christian Finnegan. I just wanted to take a moment and say something just straight from the heart, just, off the top of my head, just something I feel very passionately. Okay, here we go. Make sure you watch Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on govsradio.com, Facebook Live, and Boxcast every Saturday night at 7 p.m. They're on the TV. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
All right.
Is this background annoying you yet, or what?
No, I like it. I'm digging it.
Oh, okay.
I'm digging it. But I do want to make a special announcement, Benny. A very special announcement, a personal one. Yesterday, my daughter had a baby and had my very first grandchild. And this is no joke. And she sent me the shirt. I'm the pappy.
Awesome.
The baby was born yesterday at 1 o'clock, Friday. Her name is Emma Jean Salmon. Her last name is Salmon. She's married. My daughter's 28 years old. I know I'm an extremely young and handsome looking grandfather, but no, but my daughter's 28 years old, married, happy, lives in North Carolina, just had her first baby. I am now officially a granddad. Yes. So
congratulations, Pappy. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And congratulations to my daughter and her husband, Kyle. And welcome to the world, Emma Jean. Love you.
Emma Jean Salmon.
All right, Benny. Well, that's our show for today, my friend. Another fun, action-packed one. A lot of interviews, a lot of guests, a lot of good stuff.
It was awesome. Every show gets better. It was action-packed. I can't wait for the movie.
We got to get Joey's wife. Joey's wife's a big fan.
Yeah, she loves us.
She definitely loves us.
She especially loves me.
Good stuff, man. Yeah. But yeah, so I want everybody to enjoy their Memorial Day. The rest of the weekends, you still got Sunday and Monday, and and we all know what we're gonna be. What are you gonna be doing, Benny?
I'm gonna be doing a lot of these, my friend. Yeah. Sitting on the beach smoking these. Where's my lighter?
You're living the life, man. You're living.
That's it. Woo!
You are doing quarantine the right way, buddy.
I sure am, buddy.
Benny Rizzuti, my friend, thank you again, as always.
Don Sill, buddy, my brother. Take care, everybody. Have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Don, my brother, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Being a grandfather.
Yes.
Pappy.
Pappy.
I'm very excited for you, your daughter, and your son-in-law. Give them my love. And take care. Have a great one, buddy. Thank you again for it's always a lot of fun being on this show.
It's awesome having you, Benny, as always. Everyone have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see you next week. Peace, everybody.